and now almost a year in the real estate market also. So I have launched multiple of successful businesses, thanks to God, alhamdulillah. Setting up a business in UAE, I think today is the right time. It's one of the best places, one of the perfect places. Economy-wise, Abu Dhabi is growing like crazy. It's a trustful country around the world. Just 1 week back, we got Abu Dhabi as the safest city in the world.
Yes.
Olá pessoal, meu nome é Júlia Almeida.
Eu sou o William Lopes.
E começa mais um episódio do Whycast.
Um podcast com jeitinho mineiro de entender os porquês da vida.
E antes de começar esse episódio, eu quero falar da nossa parceira, a Bela Vista Properties. Para você que quer investir um imóvel aqui em Abu Dhabi, ela é a escolha perfeita para facilitar o seu processo.
É isso aí, você quer investir no setor imobiliário, quer conseguir o seu visto de investidor, ajuda no financiamento, compra e venda, a Bela Vista é a melhor para ajudar vocês aí nesse processo. Esteja você em qualquer lugar do mundo, entre em contato com eles através do QR Code, do link que vai aparecer aqui na descrição, que eles vão ajudar vocês com muito carinho.
E hoje a gente está com o nosso convidado aqui pela segunda vez, o Hamdan. E o William vai ter um bate-papo, falo William porque ele conversa em inglês, eu vou ficar só prestando atenção, mas sobre empreendedorismo aqui nos Emirados.
Isso, nós vamos tirar todas as dúvidas que nós temos, que as pessoas geralmente nos perguntam, como funciona para abrir um negócio aqui nos Emirados, para entender melhor como funciona o mercado e se sim, se é possível um brasileiro abrir um negócio aqui. Welcome, Hamdan. Again.
Thanks a lot. Again, it's a pleasure to be here again with you, Julia and William, in your wonderful podcast. The past experience was very nice. And inshallah, in this episode, in this podcast, it will be nice again, inshallah. And we hope that we can share valuable information with everyone who's watching us.
Perfect. I don't know if you know, but your video, your first podcast is the most viewed on our channel.
Okay, that's
the most viewed until now. You are famous, man. You are famous.
Let's aim to get this one again, the most number of views and likes.
Very nice, very nice. Well, before we start, I would like to understand first, how can I have my own business here in UAE in the point of view of Emirati first?
Okay, so business in UAE. So why I can talk about business in the past 5 years? I have joined the business world and in the entrepreneurship world. So I have been in multiple industries, where services industries. In the automotive, I have founded 2 companies, and even I have been into the retail and wholesale market, and now almost a year in the real estate market also. So I have launched multiple of successful businesses, thanks to God, alhamdulillah. Setting up a business in UAE, I think today is the right time. It's one of the best places, one of the perfect places. Economy-wise, Abu Dhabi is growing like crazy. It's a trustful country around the world. Just 1 week back, we got Abu Dhabi as the safest city in the world.
Yes. I think for the 3rd year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just to make it clear, when we come here to the United Arab Emirates, it's not only Abu Dhabi or only Dubai. It's the United Arab Emirates. We have 7 different Emirates. And from these 7 different Emirates, 4 of them was in the top 10 safest cities in the world.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider, other than the tons of other benefits that we have here as a business owner that we will be sharing today here. So, setting up a business in Abu Dhabi as an Emirati, a local, or as an expat who want to move here to start his own business or want to move his business to expand here in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi especially. We have different types of license, and we have different types of legal department that choose of us the activities. So, let's go to the main 2 sectors of business, or main 2 types of license of business here in UAE. We have 2 places. We have the free zone license and we have the mainland license. With the free zone, you are out of tax. You are not no UAE taxes applied on you, because you are not allowed to sell to customers here in UAE. In Abu Dhabi, if I'm not wrong, we have multiple 7, 6 free zones that each of them in a different sector. You are not allowed to sell to customers here in UAE, but you are allowed to sell to businesses. So B2B is allowed, but B2C is not allowed. And you can work internationally. You can open a manufacturer here or a factory or whatever, then you sell it, export it outside. And if you want to sell to customers here and operate inside the UAE, then it's a mainland business. So where you can trade and sell or offer services here in UAE. So let's go in depth in that. In Abu Dhabi, we have the Department of Economic Sector. They are one of the sectors who can guide you fully into the process. When I started at the beginning, probably I did a lot of research. I met a lot of friends, a lot of business owners, get into the market. But after I did that full research, when I go there, I was with a lot of information. Then I figured out that here in the Department of Economic Development in Abu Dhabi, we have over 10 advisors specialized in guiding you over your business. So you can go there with a paper with scratches with your idea. Then they will brainstorm with you and choose that if you should be in a free zone or in a mainland. Then what's the legal type of the license that you should get? So when it comes to the legal license type, we have mainly 3 types where you can set up an individual establishment that's owned by you only, or a corporate, a company, LLC, limited liability, where 2 or more people can be in it. And also we have the option that you are the individual owner, but still it's LLC, limited liability corporate or company. Depends on the size of the company. Sometimes or if you have multiple companies, you want to keep yourself on the safe side. So they offer that option. Then if we go to that different types of license, we have the commercial license. Then we have the professional license, where if you want to be like a freelancer teacher or you do something with your hand, that's a different type of license also. And we have the manufacturing license. If I'm not wrong, they call it the industry license. If you want to manufacture something, that it has its own sector and its own department also. So yeah, let's say I decided to open a company as an individual establishment or a corporate, a company. With my idea, I plan to rent a shop. I plan the sector and the activities I want to put into this business. So I will go to the advisor and revise it fully with him. Then they will see what activities I chose, and they will talk to me and understand what exactly the work or the service or the product I want to offer here. Then they will recommend if I should remove some activities or add extra activities to be able to serve these activities or the thing I want to do. So yeah, I chose the full activities. I chose the type of the company I want. And then it depends also on the sector. For example, in Abu Dhabi, if I want to go something related to the industry, manufacturing, then there is a specific areas that I can open with. I can't go to any land or any warehouse or any shop, choose to do whatever activity I want. I want to open a car wash. I can't go middle of a neighborhood and open a car wash. I want to open a clinic. I can't go and rent any villa and open a clinic. They have for everything specific area, specific sector, just to make things clear. And because one thing to mention also, Abu Dhabi here have one of the most well-organized infrastructure in the world, I can consider it. It's they keep everything in its place when it comes to road, when it comes to lands, when it comes to buildings, when it comes to different types of buildings. If we go to villas or high buildings or towers or the city, they are it's all well-organized and well-splitted every sector.
Yeah. So it's nice. Sorry to interrupt you, because I see it every day. You don't see some kind of shops or companies, any kind of business. You have a specific place and you just see that kind of business there. You don't see everywhere.
Even I told you, I started in the automotive sector, where first I started and founded 2 companies, an auto service center, specialized especially in European cars. So when it comes to the automotive sector, we can't go and open anywhere. I can't choose the city I want to open in and I go and choose, khalas, I find this warehouse or this shop, I will open here. No, we have a specific area where we can only open in it. for the automotive industry. Then okay, I want to open auto services, but for trucks there is another specific area for that. But what about a showroom? There is another specific area for that. I see it as a nice plan. خلاص, you gather all people from the same sector in the same place. But even when it comes to now, I'm talking about businesses that have a location. Could be like an office, or could be a warehouse, or could be like a shop. Depends on the activity you want to serve. But even we have options here to start a company without a location. So they give you, like, it's called as in Abu Dhabi, we have this option across all the UAE, but in Abu Dhabi it's called the Abu Dhabi Trader License. So they give you like a period of 3 years where you can work without a location, from your home, from wherever you want, to give you the chance to start and grow your business. But if we will focus on expats and people from outside, then it's a bit different from a local or an Emirati here. Because mainly if someone coming here to the UAE to set up a new business, he chose that either he wants the free zone or he wants to be in the mainland. Something to put into consideration is the visa thing, the residence thing. Because for me here, I am a local, I don't need a visa. But when you are an expat, probably you will need a visa. The UAE offer different kinds of residence visa with different periods. But mainly if you want to just start your small business here, you are allowed, you can come, get your license, your trade license, and apply for an investor visa, which will be 2 years. And every 2 years, you can renew it if your business is still running. But also we have the other options when it comes to the visas. Now, almost 2 years, if I'm not wrong, they launched the golden visa. For people who are like investing in medium plus businesses, depending on the business, how big is it, or even if he was investing in a real estate, they have specific values for every business and sector to get the golden visa. And just now they launched also the green visa. The golden visa is 10 years. The green visa is for some smaller businesses also, where you can get a residence for 5 years. So UAE, day by day, they are like making it easier for everyone to come here and work, because it's becoming like that, and it will be more the hub for international people to have business here. Like Abu Dhabi and UAE is growing like crazy over the 25 years. Like, if I can say, in 2000, a country that was united in 1971, in 2000 we had around 4.6 million the population, people living here. Today it's close to 12 million. So it's almost doubled, and it's growing a lot. Like, even just now we entered the real estate market. One thing that you can see how much people are coming into here, and then with different jobs, with different investments, in different sectors, businessmen, a lot also of famous people, a lot of billionaires are coming into here. Like, we have tons of stories in our market. Like, we have I will give an just example like that. One of the hospitals here, one of the biggest in Abu Dhabi. And then the owner of the hospital, this hospital came like 50 years, 45 years back in the golden days in UAE. And the first day he was here, he's an Indian person. He was only with 5 dirhams. Today he's a multi-millionaire with one of the biggest hospitals here in Abu Dhabi. So yeah, it's chances. I can say Abu Dhabi or UAE have graduated tons of millionaires and billionaires around the world. And now we are working, and Abu Dhabi is working to be like hub for everyone. Because one thing, our economy is strong. Our aim to be like a manufacturing country, we are working on it like crazy. The country is like bringing the new technologies, the new AI, everything happens new in the world. They want to bring it here. They want to be an exporting country more than an importing country, because at a point we used to import everything from outside and just export our oil, our petrol. Because Abu Dhabi owns 95% of the oil here in UAE. So we were only exporting the oil and importing everything. From food into cars, from the smallest thing to biggest things. But today we can see like UAE is working hard on changing that. One example that I featured myself and I live it, last year, 2024, in one of the biggest competitions in the world skills competition, it was held in France, Lyon. I was there with the UAE team in the VIP catering lounge. I just entered the first day. It was in Lyon, the second biggest city in France. When I go there, like the coffee area, I saw the ceramic cups and plates. All of them are made in UAE rack.
Nice.
That was really proud moment. Like, خلاص, we started that. We are exporting things around the world. And the country itself, whoever want to manufacture anything into here, they are helping him and supporting him. And we have tons of local and non-local millionaires here who are willing to like invest into multiple different types of businesses, like as an angel investors or even as a venture investors. So because they know once like anything related to manufacturing or whatever businesses that will grow Abu Dhabi's economy, the government directly will come to support it. And even one thing that helped us a lot to start exporting outside to get new money into the country, our location. We are in the middle of the west and the east.
Yeah.
So we are in the middle and we have very good like one of our ports here in UAE, the one in Fujairah. I can't remember exactly which year, but for 2 years exactly, it got the 4th best port in the world. And our like Emirates airline and Etihad airline.
Flights from everywhere pass by here and go to somewhere.
And it's direct flights. Like you want to go to anywhere in Europe, you want to go to Australia, you want to go to Brazil, you want to go to US, it's direct flights. So like our flights are very good. Our like shipping path, we have 2 main paths around the world to have shipping here. UAE is on 2 different oceans. So we have the Gulf Ocean and we have the Indian Ocean near Fujairah. So all these chances like are the perfect chances. That's why I think a lot of people already started investing here and started their businesses here. And especially in the Middle East and a lot of places around the world, anyone who starts his business and want to expand, they move to Abu Dhabi. Then because they know it's the perfect hub to start expanding around the world.
Yeah.
When it comes to everything, when it comes to the safety of the country, when it comes to the infrastructure, when it comes to the government support, when it comes to the welcoming of the community also.
Some legal guarantees here that you have also.
Tons of them. And then like if we come to the taxes is something that's working as a magnet to all people. For the millionaires, for the investors, they are coming here because our taxes are very low. And on some things, we have 0 taxes. So if we will come, the VAT, the value-added tax, is only 5%.
And it's clear. You can see it in any purchase you do.
Yes, that's right. Only 5%. Compared to the rest of the world, that's very low. And when it comes to the personal tax or the income tax, there is no tax. That's 0%. And when it comes to the companies or businesses, before it was 0% tax. But just now, starting January 2024, so we continued 1 year, they started to put tax onto corporates, onto companies, which is 9%. Still very low tax, and it's not on everyone. It's only on businesses who have a revenue of 3 million plus dirhams per year, which is around $860,000. And your revenue is 3 million. Does that mean they will take 9% from the 3 million? No. They will take 3% of the net, 9% of the net profit. Then, but William, you are smart. Then the rest of the net profit, you will give it to salary to yourself.
Yeah, man, it's weird because around the world, if you see, they don't ask for the net profit. They ask for the full amount.
Yes,
that you got during the year, and then they tax you. They are not worried if you didn't have any benefit on that. If you didn't have any profit, they just ask tax. When I realized that and I noticed about it, I was shocked, impressed, because they first check all the money that was spent with the process, with people manufacturing and etc., and then you tax them.
Because this will be fair.
It's fair.
Yeah,
I fully agree with you.
like have tax only on the net profit, because one of my companies revenue almost 2 million dirhams per year, but the net out of it doesn't exceed 190,000. So if you charge me on that 9%, you almost took 50% of my net profit.
Hit tax.
Then, so that makes sense. So also like yes, UAE have its luxurious lifestyles, all this glamour, all this like famous stuff, but still it's welcoming for all kind of businesses. If you have a small businesses, if you are running it yourself, if you are a graphic designer who want to, you are freelancer, you work online around the world.
Yeah.
So you can come here in a country that's safe, that's very nice. The community is so welcoming. The diverse of the nationalities. We have more than 200 nationalities here. And 90 or 85% plus of the community are like non-locals, expats. So you are living in a community where like it accepts everyone. It's safe. It has very low tax. It have access to the full world. Today, if you need anything in the UAE, you can find it. Whatever kind of product, whatever kind of a setup. Like we can see whatever trend happens around the world, give it less than a month, it will be in UAE. Podcasts started 1 year back, 1.5 years back. Before we had podcasts, 20 years, 25 years in the radios. But the idea of podcasts being on YouTube, sharing clips of it in TikTok and Instagram, it just started less than 2 years back. And now it's becoming famous like crazy. Once it started in UAE, a lot of people from around the world came here to set up their podcasts. And even like you can see in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, tons of studios with fancy setup, with fancy backgrounds, with fancy locations that you can rent for podcasts. There are a lot of YouTubers from around the world. They start their career. Once they start successing in it, they come and move UAE because their work is online. Then they set up their business here because they will be charged and like taxed on the country that they are living in.
Yeah.
So that's something.
With a nice infrastructure, with low taxes, with quality, with the services and everything. Yeah. It's nice.
So that's something also. And the idea of free zone, a lot of people are like working on the internet, like e-commerce, drop shipping or whatever. That's the perfect option for them. Come, get a free zone license and live here with a visa, and your work is all online around the world. And in free zones, you are not taxed because you are not selling internally in the UAE. Yeah.
It's very nice, Wensa. Very nice. I have a question because I've heard, you talked about just how to get a company or something like that here in UAE as a local. Let's talk about to be in a expat. I mean, the legal process, because I've heard in the past that for a expat to have a job here, to have a company here, they have to have a local, like let's say a partner. Otherwise, they couldn't open a company here. Is it right? How does it work?
Yes, that's true. Since forever in UAE, that was true. When it comes to free zones, no, that's not a requirement at all.
Makes sense.
But when it comes to the mainland, that's a requirement. Or I can say 80% plus of the activities. For 80% or 90% of the activities, you should have, depends on the activity, you should have an Emirati or a local partner, then with a percentage that exceeds your percentage. So if it's 100% company, split it between both of you.
51-49, for example.
51-49. Then, but now they opened another option for tons of activities, especially activities that usually expats work on. You can own 100% of the company then as an expat, but you should have an Emirati or local sponsor then to be able to employ people. And for a lot of activities also, 10 to 20% of the activities, they opened for expats to own it 100% by themselves in the mainland. It depends on the activity, of course, but yeah, for major of the activities, you should have either a partner or a sponsor as an Emirati.
In this case, the investment is half, or no, maybe, for example, I'm an expat, I'll make the full investment, I just need someone to be my sponsor or partner.
See, when it comes to sponsor, he owns nothing from the company. He's your sponsor only.
Okay.
Then, and any legal problem happens in the company, he have nothing to do with it.
I got it.
He's just a sponsor where he can benefit something from the company upon a deal between both of you. You can go to a notary and do that deal. But yeah, he owns nothing with the company, and any legal problem doesn't apply on him because he's just sponsoring for you to be able to employ people under the company. But when he's a partner, then it's the decision between the both partners. You as an expat and the Emirati partner decide how the business will run.
Nice, because I've heard about it. To be honest, I thought that it was for all kind of business here in UAE. But makes sense. In a free zone, you don't need a sponsor.
You don't need a sponsor at all. Not partner, not sponsor.
Very nice, very nice. And how long does it take? I mean, how long does it take to have to open a business here in UAE? Is it fast? Is it because in Brazil, if you are working, we have some kind of let's say certificates that will allow you open a business by your own or have a bigger business. You can do it in 1-2 days maximum. How is it here?
Okay, so again, I can.
She's saying here, good question, I got it.
Yes. So it can take 2 to 3 days, especially with the Abu Dhabi trader license, the license that doesn't require a location or as a physical location. Yani, it can take like 2-3 days. You are done with it. You have your license. You can proceed and work. Then, and for other kinds of licenses, it used to be a bit longer, take 2 to 3 weeks. But now one of the processes, they cancelled it to make it easier. So now it's, I can say approximately 2 weeks maximum. You have the business set up. But one thing also that should be considered for every single business is the bank account. We can't run a business without a bank account. It depends on the business, but majority of them requires a bank account. But again, for majority of activities in the businesses, like the bank account won't be that hard, especially like in UAE, we have different types of banks. We have the local banks, the international banks, and now we have multiple digital banks here in UAE. With digital banks, it's faster, and with most of activities, it's easy. But when it comes to activities such as real estate, such as if you are specialized in wholesale, these kinds of activities, sometimes it's complicated or to open a bank account, and not any bank account will allow you to open with them, depend on your past experience with them. But especially if you are new, you have no past experience with these banks or in UAE with other banks, as a company. So it will be a bit hard with them. And since like 2-3 years or more, they applied like especially in these two sectors, real estate and wholesale, you have to be registered in the AML system and have the AML certificate, which is anti-money laundering certificate. It's an international one that you should have if you work in these two sectors. But yeah, the bank, but you can start the business, and while running it, you can start the process of the bank account. Depends on the business. And
the bank account must be in the name of the business, not...
See, when it should be a business bank account, but when it's an establishment, it shares both, like your name and the business. But when it's limited liability, it's the business bank account, 100%.
Okay,
yeah,
I got it. Nice. Once we discussed about the names for business here. I know that you have rules, and at that time it was a little bit strange to me. In the end, I understood, but how does it work to create the name of the business?
Yeah, I can't see choosing a business name. What I have faced was very hard there, but not because of the rules or regulations or this. Finding a good name for your business is hard.
It's hard.
Wherever around the world.
Yes.
You can't go and just name your business Apple or Banana or whatever. No, it doesn't work like that. Depends on the size of the business. By the time the business itself will build like strength for this name, but in the beginning you have to choose the right name. But when it comes to the rules and regulations, or to the legal terms, yes, of course, the inappropriate words won't be accepted. But there's two rules. One, the name, no one should have been used it in the same activity in Abu Dhabi. زين. So for example, I want to open a coffee shop called Coffee Hub. If there is another coffee shop named Coffee Hub, I can't. But if I want to open a auto services shop named Coffee Hub, I can.
Imagine.
We are not doing the same activity.
Yeah, mate.
He's a coffee shop, I am an auto repair shop. So that's something.
It's nice because in Brazil we have something similar. If you go everywhere, you will see a kind of business called dois irmãos. In English, it would be two brothers.
Okay.
We have this kind of business. You have a coffee shop. You have many things. You'll find two brothers there. Irmãos.
But one thing that also we have, I see it's okay, but it might be a bit strange for some people. If you will name your business like with a city name or a country name, then you pay 5 times extra on booking that name.
Really?
So for example, I want to name my business Shanghai. I will pay 5 times extra. I want to name my business Sao Paulo. Then I will pay 5 times extra. It doesn't matter if city in UAE or around the world. Because
It's the name of city.
It's a
or
name of
country.
city.
You have to.
you have to pay. There. And there are some, like, there's once you go to book, usually 90% of getting your license is online. There. When you are like an expat or opening a new business in UAE, you can go online, you can read now. All clear forms are there. Our online systems are very easy and user-friendly. But also we have a lot of trusted legal people and offices or brokerages that help you to set up your business from A to Z in UAE. And there are tons of trustful ones. I have talked to a couple of here and there before. But you can search about it and find the perfect one that suits you. But yeah, also like once you go online, you will find a list with 1,000 names that are like booked names, either by someone else who are he don't own a business. But for me, tomorrow I can go and book a name with paying, I think, 400 dirhams yearly, something like that. So just book a name. I'm planning to open after 2 years a business with this name, so I book it from today. Is there? Or there's a lot of names that are booked by the government themselves, then to use it somewhere. So yeah, I don't think it's complicated or it has harsh or hard rules. I think yourself will be hard for you to find a good name, especially in a city or a country that's so competitive in the business market. Then, like,
Because the most common names they are already choosing for someone.
yes, a lot of people chose these names,
Yeah.
especially if you want it to be a one word only.
Yeah.
So here it will be complicated.
Yeah, maybe we have to book Whycast.
You have to book it. For real, you have to book it as soon as possible. And we have an additional option. And then you booked the name. Then, like for example, you booked the name Whycast. Tomorrow, Whycast decided to start manufacturing microphones and selling them. You can't put on them your logo unless you book it fully around the UAE. Then it's a 10 years payment. And then then you book you are the owner of this name. Khalas, no one can use it for any activity. Then that's something.
I got it.
You pay around $3,000, which is approximately 10,000 dirhams. Then to book the name for 10 years. Then you can use it on products and start selling products.
Any kind of product, service, you can use the name.
Yes.
The name is yours.
The name is yours for 10 years.
Acho que eu entendi.
Entendeu? Você tem que, por exemplo, buscar lá e pagar essa taxa, a gente consegue usar o nome para qualquer coisa. Você pode produzir qualquer coisa e só nós podemos produzir. Nice, man. Very nice. Yeah. And what about legal guarantee? Because I see that here is safe. Here you have good plans for open business here. And what about the legal guarantees the government give to people?
يعني when it comes to legal guarantees, mainly one of the most important things and good things here, it's like we have a full department where it's called Consumer Protection Department. This make sure that all businesses deliver the right work or the right service or the right product to the customer, and pushes all businesses to be in like high standards. And then so like scams stop in the market and be minimized. It's a very harsh one, which help that all customers and consumers have their rights. But even for you as a business, like you have the legal department like open for you full time for whatever concerns, whatever issues you face. When it comes to the insurance, we have multiple companies with like competitive prices to have insurance for your business. Plus also now like they are added one of the nice systems that, okay, maybe not 100% related to it, but I want to mention it. A system in UAE or Abu Dhabi that's called Hassantuk. We are in a hot country, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
So fires might occur.
Yes.
This system is from the civil defense themselves, where you connect your full business or your factory or your company, or even it was a small 5x5 shop, to the civil defense direct. Whatever issue, the smallest that happens, directly will have people prepared and ready to come to you, and you start getting tons of calls to confirm if the error is hada. And if you have a CCTV system, it will be connected with them so they can
see. And
yeah, because I had multiple issues with them and I saw how responsive they are and how supportive they are also.
Nice. When I came to AE, I saw something that happened. One carpet shop got fired, man. It was terrible. It was in Alain, I think.
Yeah.
And we saw that the civil defense, they came fast and they fixed the problem very fast.
Yeah, we have multiple in here, especially like in the industries areas and in Hada. Fires happen. It occurs. It's something that's expected in some special types Hada. But you will see it in minutes. It's controlled. Then, like in one of my companies, I have one of the biggest cable factories in front of me. Then fire occurred there.
Yeah.
In less than half hour, everything was controlled.
Yeah.
Everything was settled. So that's things considered part of the safety, parts of the things and benefits you get here, like the support from around you, the legal department, the civil defense department, the police. All of these departments make your life much more easier to run a business here also.
Nice, very nice. Oh, by the way, I have a question. It's not fully really related to the topic, but it's a doubt that I have regarding the civil defense, regarding ambulances, police cars, and etc. Anyway, when you are in the road, you see some lights flashing the left side, a kind of with 4 different colors. What does it mean? Do you know what's that? I think it's related to civil defense or policy or something like that.
It's not related to that.
No?
It has, you see 4 lights. It
Yeah.
has 4 different meanings. I don't know exactly what's the meanings, but let's say like it has orange. If orange is lightened, that means you have an accident in front of you. If green is lighted, that means like fog is coming on your way. So it has different types of...
Yeah, makes sense. No, makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense. Very sunny. Do you have any question, Luis?
Is that this? Well, we're saying regarding how good the business runs here, all the opportunities we have, but tell us a little bit of the challenges. You have been in the market for some while now. I'm sure you faced some challenges. Yeah. What do you think are the biggest challenge someone who just, let's say, arrived to the UAE and wants to start a business, what will tell them to avoid?
Okay, so I will consider like someone who will come here, like let's say an experienced one who already know how businesses runs, understand how to build a team, understand how to deal with different types of customers, because in my beginnings I didn't know all that. But I believe now, especially in the past 2 years, like business and entrepreneurship and starting your company and getting out of the matrix, don't be stuck in your job. It's something. It's the trend nowadays. Hopefully, inshallah, no one gets in this trap. See, no one quitted his job and go for a business. But let's say someone who have the knowledge, like how to run a business, and he will come here. especially an expat who doesn't understand like the Arab's culture, the Emirati culture, and the language, he might face some challenges at the beginning, especially like being in a new community. There, he will see different types of dealings, different types of actings, different types of customers, and even with the diverse, with like different types of nationalities. Like I can say like majority of the nationalities here, number one is the Indians.
Yes.
Then we have like Pakistanis are a lot also. So we have different nationalities. You go this place, you will see like majority of the people are from this nationality. Then you go here, this. So adapting to this might take them a time and might be a challenge depending on what industry they are from or they are working in. So for example, let's say if we go to the aircraft maintenance industry, someone want to start there. Like he's from Ukraine. Then he came and he will say majority of the people in this industry are Brazilians. So he will need time to adapt with it. Then he's from the automotive industry. He's Brazilian. He came here, he will see the majority are Arabs and Indians. So he will need time to know how to understand them because every nationality is different.
It's totally different. Yeah.
But like it's a challenge that you will get used to and you will start, it depends on the industry, you will start learning the Arabic words they use very fast.
Yeah.
The good thing is I can say 90% plus of the people here speaks English and a lot of them speaks more than English also. Like Arabic, English are the main languages, but you can see a lot of people like not bilingual but more.
Yes.
They will find like you can find Emirati person speaking Portuguese and speaking Indian and speaking Russian.
Yeah.
My father personally, he don't speak English. Like he speaks English, but he's like beginner. Then, but he speaks fluent Russian.
Russian?
Yes. Then, so it depends on the person himself. But yeah, you will get used to it. Especially like the community here are so welcoming, are so nice, are so supportive. Not only the Emirati, the locals, but everyone. Doesn't matter what's his nationality. Everyone come here, even yourself, himself. Then after he come here, in 6 months, 1 year, maximum 2 years, he will have the same exact acts of the people.
Yes.
He will be welcoming. He will start acting same as them. He will be like, he will understand how it works here. But like everything, if he's experienced and knowledgeable about the business itself, this will be a small challenge adapting to the community and to the country itself, but it won't take long and it won't be the hardest.
Yeah. I think it might be better. It would be better for expat people to have in the beginning a partner, to open the first business maybe, to understand how the environment works, how everything works in the country, and then later on to open a different kind of business with a sponsor, maybe in the free zone.
Yes, it can be. That's an option. And I told you, we have tons of investors. Myself, I have like partnered up with one of the investors here. And it was like kind of a great experience with him. So finding an investor, it's not that hard. It's not the easiest actually. It's hard to gain people trust. Especially you are expat, you are new here. Especially if you don't have like much background or experience or like portfolio of businesses that you have started around the world and you want to start something from scratch, then you will need to gain people trust. So it might take some time. It's not the hardest, it's not the easiest, but it's moderate and then it's in the middle itself.
Nice. Tem alguma pergunta, meu amor?
Não, Luiz, acho que eu tenho.
Talking of trust, I had been in contact with some Brazilians.
Yes.
And our audience is mostly Brazil. So we would love to hear what you think of Brazilians. Can you trust them? How was your experience?
Good question. It's a good question.
I can say when it comes to trust, I won't say 100%, but I will say 99% of them, you can trust them. Myself, I have worked with multiple Brazilians, invested with multiple Brazilians, and partnered up with some of them. Until today, alhamdulillah, thanks God, I had a wonderful experience. So that's something. And the majority of Brazilians who are watching us currently, if you have any ideas, drop it down. Maybe we can support you in getting it, or maybe we can be your partner in setting up your business here. I am open to opportunities. I like to expand.
See the opportunity crossing your door just now.
Like if we say opportunities in UAE, like as we have tons of cultures, tons of things to try, we are welcoming any new opportunity. If you come back 10 years back, 2015, if you were in UAE, you won't find specialty coffee in UAE. We had Starbucks and one of the Japanese coffee shops, Arabica. That's all. Now in every corner you find a specialty coffee shop. Someone started it and shared this idea. Like this kind of beef burgers. We didn't have it. We just had fast food before. No one was eating burgers before 2016, like this kind of beef burgers. We just had Shake Shack and Five Guys. Now in every corner there is a burger. Someone came and put this idea in the market and promoted it. So if you have any special idea from Brazil that you would like to implement here or something new, drop it down and
let's see what we can do.
We might find you a good opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
Last one now. I know that you probably are looking for a manager for one of your garages. So can Brazilians be a good candidates to manage your business?
100%. I have been in touch with multiple Brazilians who were in the same industry, like in the garage or automotive industry or auto repair shops and centers. They were really, really, really good people. As I am in this industry in one of my businesses and companies, so if someone is interested to be part of it, you are more than welcome and we can work on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Full of CVs on the comments.
Yes. Type in the comments, okay? I will send my CV.
Okay,
look for the email in the description of the video and then you send it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have more questions?
No questions.
Questions, Luis? No, it's okay. Give to our audience your good words and explain them. Give them an advice. Say something to them.
So we mentioned that it's not 100% true to escape the matrix and go and leave your job and start a business. But follow that trend and get into the business world. It's a really exciting world. It's full of fun. It's full of experience. And it might lead you to some place that you never expected. It will be a wonderful journey. You might pass by hard times, but these hard times are the times that you will remember the rest of your life. You will gain tons of skills and knowledge, something that I didn't think before that was a word also. Stress tolerance. That's something that you gain starting a business. So it's a fun word. I recommend it 100%. But don't do it stupidly, of course. Study it, study hard. Now the internet is full of knowledge. Even books from the 60s, one of the most famous books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now 50% of the world read it probably.
Yes.
But there is knowledge everywhere, from books, from podcasts, from friends. Try to build relations as much as possible. Try to get contact with the people that you are interested in their field. Build relations around you and study it, plan it well, and enter the business world. And all the best.
Perfect. Man, I'll be honest with you. I was employee my entire life. And now here in UAE, meeting you, Luis, we are starting the Whycast now. And this is the first time that I have my own business and I'm learning with you. I learn with you a lot. And I inspired on you and Luis. And I hope that you that are listeners listen the words of this guy because he knows. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot for having me again here.
Yeah. And you come more, that.
Hey, let's hear you come more. I have fun stories. Next time will be fun stories. And
let's do it. Let's do it. Would you like to let your social medias for our audience?
Of course. I can leave it down in your video or if we can play it on the screen. But we can.
What's your Instagram?
So my Instagram is S6DA.
Man, it's so complex. It will be in the description, the discussion. Perfect.
Thank you very much, Hamdan.
You're welcome, Julia. Thank you.
Depois eu tenho que ver o episódio, galera, pra eu entender toda a situação que tá acontecendo aqui. Como eu já tô aprendendo, já vou entendendo algumas palavras, mas até juntar tudo.
Olha, eu tenho que ser privilegiada. Tá tendo aula particular, ao vivo. Outro nível, muito bom. É isso.
É isso, pessoal. Muito obrigado. Sigam a gente, né? O Hamdan já falou. O meu é Júlia Almeida Lopes.
William Castro Lopes, segue a gente também no Whycast.
No Whycast. É isso, até a próxima.
Se inscreva aqui no nosso canal, não pode esquecer. Ativa as notificações, dá uma curtida aí no vídeo, compartilha, deixa um comentário aí, quem sabe, né? Quem quiser, deixa aí nos comentários o CV aí, o currículo aí, eu vou mandar tudo pro Hamdan aí, vai. Falar com vocês. É isso aí.
É isso, até a
Muito
próxima.
obrigado. Tchau.
Tchau.